welcome back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Owen.
The Mariners are currently 50-42, sole possession of the second wildcard spot, and in the middle of a 13-game winning streak.
Ow!
Let's go.
Love to see
Fucking go.
So, one of the biggest topics is why are we called a Sogcast? And let me just explain it to everyone out here. A couple years ago, Mariners had a pitcher named Drew Smiley. He was going to come in. He was going to be the dog. He was going to be the ace of our rotation. He was going to turn the dreary Mariners around. And in spring training, he wasn't pitching. Ownership said that he had a soggy arm. Ended up needing Tommy John. Never pitched for the Mariners.
Apparently played in the World Baseball Classic during the offseason and got a little bit soggy.
Got a little bit soggy. So, as a joke, we have a play on words, podcast, Sogcast, Soggy Mariners. That's the history of our name.
Is Smiley still in the league?
I think he might be. He's around somewhere. He was pitching like last year.
No way Smiley's in
I
the
swear to
league.
God, he's still around somewhere.
But the Sog is real. The Mariners had a lot of pitchers who ended up with soggy arms, and this ended up being a running joke for us. Every time James Paxton had to miss a start because he had a stiff back or a sore shoulder or inflammation in his elbow, there's so many instances where other pitchers had a soggy arm without saying those exact words, and just became a running joke for us, and we still use it today.
Yep. So that's it. Sogcast, soggy arm, Drew Smiley, 2-5 record.
Yeah, he's on the Cubs.
He's on the Chicago Cubs. He's still around.
No way. Well, let's get him. We need starting pitching. Apparently, I don't know. Let's get him.
But yes, so soggy arm, Drew Smiley, podcast, Sogcast. Now you all are in the loop. Let's carry right on. 13-game win streak. Second longest win streak in Mariners history. Going back to 2002, 2001, 15 games in a row. We're at 13. It's crazy. It came out of nowhere. I mean, yes, the Mariners were trending up, but 13 games in a row is insane. It's crazy what's happening right now.
It's absolutely nuts. Last episode, we were talking about, are the Mariners going to split the series with Toronto? Like, I really hope that we can sweep the Nationals. They haven't lost a game since we recorded our last episode, Saturday.
We're in a completely different place than we were then. They've picked up and they've taken off and haven't stopped. They just keep winning, and they just know they're going to win. It's kind of crazy to watch.
And exactly, there's no like give up in the team. I mean, yesterday, Friday, down 3-0 before we got our first out in the first inning, and battle back the whole game through. The games are 9 innings for a reason, and they kept battling, and they come back and win it. And
these guys don't give up.
Yeah.
It helped that Upton hit one 5-hole straight through Culberson's legs there, but I mean, that's just the way baseball is. That's baseball, baby.
Yeah, I just want to add to all those games we've won. It's not just been like really fluky one-run games. The M's offense has been producing. We've getting guys on base. We're scoring those runs. Really good, walks, plate appearances. A few long balls. Some really clutch long balls by Santana, especially against Toronto.
Santana. Oh my God,
so dope.
It just seems like the offense is just firing on all cylinders, which in years past has been the issue. So it's really nice to see.
Yeah, last year they're all proud of winning one-run games. Not the case this year. They're doing a lot better, winning by a lot more than one run. And also, getting guys on base and leaving guys on base. That's
crazy.
an issue.
It's crazy that we're in a 13-game win streak, and the Mariners coming into today's game, we're batting 186 with the bases loaded. Second worst in the league behind, just ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that despite that really, really poor numbers with the bases loaded, they're still finding ways to win.
Yeah, with the offensive production, while leaving 3 men stranded constantly. It's unreal. If we start producing in the situations where we have the bases loaded, how much does that add? We don't even have Mitch Haniger right now. We don't have like Kyle Lewis. We have Sam Haggerty who's doing the damn thing, but we have Upton still. Why do we need to
should not be
after
on a
the
Major
All-Star
League
break? Our
roster.
team's gonna look a lot stronger, I think.
Haggerty with the inside the park home run the other day.
Yes, Ham
is
Swaggerty. I
Ham
love it.
Swaggerty.
I love him
That
so
center
much.
fielder
Center
fucked up
fielder.
so hard.
It was bad.
He whiffed it.
He went all out. He could have just played it on the hop. Could have been a single. Nope. Inside the park home run. First Mariners inside the park home run since Willie Bloomquist back in
Yeah.
2007.
Our boy,
Heart and Soul Port Orchard.
Willie Boom Boom.
Along with the bases loaded and some of the woes the Mariners are still having with that, first Grand Slam happened.
Fuck yes.
Grand Slam happened. Julio Rodriguez. Who else?
I mean, you called it.
I did.
All we had to do was make predictions and, wait a week. And that's what happened. Julio Rodriguez with our first Grand Slam. It's insane. That kid is the new kid, I think.
He's so special, dude.
It's just amazing watching him play. I mean, it's literally a generational talent.
I was just going to say he's going to be another generational talent. The kid is so impressive.
Upcoming superstar, along with those guys, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Fernando Tatis Jr., all these young guys coming up with swag and with confidence and presence in the league and making it known that they're here, ready to go.
Also, it's so much fun to see. I really like that the game has changed, especially over the last couple years, with players being allowed to show more emotion and these young guys being able to have fun and bat flip and flex on second when they hit a double. It's good for the game, and I really like that kind of the days of, oh, you hit a home run, so I'm going to peg you your next at bat, or you got too excited, so I'm going to put one in your ear. Those days are pretty much done, and it's really nice letting the kids play and letting them have fun and show emotion. It's good for the game. It's good for baseball. All for it. Love it.
Fun differential is out of this world.
Yeah, for the whole league.
Chaos ball.
Look at guys like Jazz Chisholm. Have you seen that guy?
Yes.
Like the way he dresses, the way he moves. He's just going all out. Like he moves the line of all of this stuff a little bit farther, And I think that line will keep being pushed, and there will keep being pitchers that get pissed off at certain things because guys are going to push that line. But there is so much more leeway than there ever has been, and it's actually a really cool thing to watch. And I enjoy watching guys be genuinely, happy, but also putting a show on for everybody and for their team, and getting the momentum moving in the right way with those kind of actions on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun watching people have fun. They're
exactly.
enjoying it. And I want to say something about this Mariners team that I really noticed. You can watch it if you ever watch a Mariners game, even just an inning, you will see that this team is having fun. They're getting along. I remember watching 2015, 2016. It was literally a bunch of guys that were at work. They were doing their job. They had to show up and play baseball to collect a paycheck. They didn't get along. It would be awkward. You would see them. They wouldn't celebrate together. It was awkward watching them walk by each other in the dugout because no one was like friends or buddies or anything.
Fights in the clubhouse.
Yes. Oh, my, Gene Segura and was it D. Gordon?
D. Gordon or was JP around at that time?
No, that
No,
was
yeah.
It had to
before
be-
JP.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was D. Gordon and Gene Segura getting into a fight in the clubhouse, and just these guys are having fun. They're joking around with each other. They're always celebrating and picking each other up, and it's showing. I mean, I truly believe that if you enjoy the team you're on, that you're gonna perform better. You're in a better environment, and these guys are having fun. They're picking each other up. It's so much fun to watch.
Makes me wonder if Carlos Santana even liked being on the Royals. 'Cause ever since he put a Mariners jersey on, he rakes.
Oh my God, the 3 home runs in 2 games
So clutch.
in the Toronto series.
Fire.
I mean, oh my goodness. And yeah, and who knows? I mean, you know, I'm not in the clubhouse. I don't know what's going on, but maybe he wasn't having a good time in Kansas City, and his production was dipping because of that. He comes to the Mariners, finds that he's in a good environment, is having fun, sees the guys are having fun and picking each other up, and he's now performing better.
Yeah, I love that move we made to get Carlos Santana. He brings a crazy good presence to our team, and he's a really patient and solid hitter.
Going back to Patrick's, how the team is having fun and getting along. I always love seeing their little the infield ceremonies where they dance around in a circle doing can and stuff. That's great. Another great point is from what I've observed on Mariners Twitter, all the big players, all the fans are getting really into it. It's not like the typical, like, oh, God, the Mariners are so garbage. Like, we need to fire Service. We need to fire DePoto. We need to get new blood in there. Now it seems like they're all coming together and riding with the team, which is really nice to see. It's been like 20 years of sadness. And
It's
so
been a lot of pain.
It's really nice
Yeah.
just to have everybody hyped and excited.
On the same page for the first time in so long. Even
Yeah.
the fans.
It's been 20 years of SOG.
And here we are, doing a Sogcast in the middle of a 13-game win streak.
It's a good time to start
I mean-
a podcast when, like, we started a podcast and they got hot. It's kind of crazy, but
It's nice. It
I
gives
don't
us
know. I
plenty
didn't-
of stuff to
not
talk
saying
about.
we had anything to do with it, but it just is. Might probably a coincidence.
I'm just saying, the
Probably.
irony isn't lost on us.
All right. All-Star break is right around the corner, and we have to talk about the snubs. Logan Gilbert and Ty France definitely deserve to be all-stars, and
Without a question.
And I guarantee you, Ty France played in Boston, played in New York. He's an all-star. He's a fucking all-star if he plays on the East Coast. Those writers and the people don't pay attention to the West Coast. And the East Coast bias is something that has always been a thorn in the Mariners' side. Look at Edgar Martinez. 10 years to get into the Hall of Fame. They finally put him in the last year that he was eligible. And they said because he's a designated hitter, he only plays part of the game. He didn't deserve to be an all-star. You know who was a first ballot Hall of Famer? David Ortiz, who was a DH because he played in Boston. It just, the snubs, it drives me crazy. Logan Gilbert, Ty France's numbers, they deserve to be in the All-Star game. And the fact that they've now replaced like 3 or 4 injured guys with other people, Corey Seager taking out the final spot, and they haven't put Ty France in, it's ridiculous. And I'm legitimately upset about it.
It does kind of suck, but I have to rationalize it in my mind and remember that MLB is trying to put their biggest stars on display here. It's not necessarily about the stats, you know. It's more about how can we make this fun? Who do we want to put in there and market? Like, we want to make a bigger market for our players, which MLB has been criticized before about not marketing their star players. And this is their opportunity to put people in there where this is their one opportunity to do that. And it's a lot of fan voting, which it has nothing to do with stats. It has to do with all of Canada voting for Espinal. It has to do with, and Vladdy,
Yeah.
you know. Vladdy's awesome, of course. We love Vladdy.
Yeah.
Is he all-star worthy? Probably. Yeah, absolutely. That guy is invaluable. But Ty France should absolutely be there. He's one of these, probably the best first baseman in the American League.
Yeah.
The fan voting, like, that's a great point. Like, have you ever considered, like, changing the way, like, how votes are? How would we do that?
They need to do something and now they're making it that if you won the fan vote, you're automatically a starter in the All-Star game. That's ridiculous. It's not about stats. It's a popularity contest. And the Mariners lose the popular vote. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We're far away from everyone else. People aren't paying attention. And when you have an entire country voting for one player, at the same position Ty France plays. Like,
Yeah, it seems silly too that they give you can vote 5 times a day, right? Until whenever the threshold, the cutoff. But for markets like New York and Toronto, where Toronto is literally the only Canadian team, you just get outvoted. Like, regardless of stats, they're just like a big name or a quality name, and you just have so much more weight behind every vote because there's just so many more people.
Every province votes for one team.
Yeah.
It's a showcase for, what's voted to be the fans' favorite players. That's really all it is. It almost means nothing as a whole. Obviously, when you talk about the great players, it's mentioned, oh, he was an all-star 6 times, and that's fucking awesome. Does it matter, though? I know Matt has an opinion on this.
Hey, Patrick, what do you got?
I was just going to say, perfect example of it being a popularity contest. Fernando Tatis had the 5th most votes. He has not played an inning this year. He's been hurt all year, and people vote for him in the All-Star game. He had the 5th most votes at shortstop at his position. But it's just like, how it doesn't make any sense. It's just something needs to be done. Changes need to be made to the All-Star process, and yeah, I just
for me, I wish the MLB wanted to market someone like Ty France. Why not? They're doing it with Julio, of course. Why would you not? But with Logan Gilbert, Ty France, those people need to be on the national stage more. Those are people who are very underlooked because they're playing on the West Coast a lot. Everyone on the East Coast is sleeping unless Shohei Ohtani is pitching, which is fine. I understand, but
hey, save it for the Shohei minute. You'll get your time.
But I'm just saying, I wish they'd be more willing to market guys like Ty France. He's awesome. He's a really good guy. He's good looking. He can hit the ball the other way professionally, and he can hit the ball over the fence professionally. And he's good at first base too. He's transitioned to first base last year. He's beautiful over there.
great
He's
defense.
an awesome first baseman.
I
Who's
love
Evan
him.
White?
Yeah, I was gonna say Evan White.
Who's that?
He's
guy?
dead,
Who?
bro. He's dead.
like
That's another trade piece.
I don't think he hasn't played in like over a year. He's got those hip problems.
Oh yeah, he re-aggravated something, huh? In
Yeah.
May. Yeah.
I think Evan White, his career's probably done, and at least on the Mariners, he's not
Be determined. We'll
yeah,
see.
but and hips can be tricky. You have like lingering hip issues. It's something that can come back and continue to haunt you and stuff. And yeah, Ty France makes us all forget about Evan White, and that's okay.
And he should be in the All-Star game.
Ty France should be an All-Star. Logan Gilbert should be an All-Star. And I think when not if, when the Mariners make the playoffs, maybe we'll start getting a little bit more recognition, and maybe more people will start paying attention to the players we have here. JP got snubbed last year.
That's true.
Yeah.
He won a Gold Glove last
Gold
year
Glover JP.
and was not in the All-Star game. You know who the Mariners' lone All-Star was? Yusei Kikuchi.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
that's gross.
That
I don't
is
even
gross.
remember that. That's nasty.
Yeah.
I can't even think about that.
Dude, that really pissed me off.
Ugh.
No dog in him.
Zero dog in
I'm
that
so
guy.
glad he's gone. Oh my God, I was waiting for that day. I tried to have faith in him multiple times, and I gave up that last year. And
I'm glad he's in Toronto. Also,
Me too.
it seems to be kind of common knowledge that his current stint on the IL is forced. Because he isn't producing, so they were like, "We're gonna say you're hurt."
You have a soggy arm. You said. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Just take a rest.
Yeah, got too much sog in you.
You got 60 days.
Another topic of discussion: the Mariners do not seem to have a dedicated closer. Paul Sewald has been getting the most save opportunities. However, he's not a Mariano Rivera or a JJ Putz or a Kazuhiro Sasaki. We're rotating different guys into the closer role. I don't know. I like having a dedicated closer. I think that guy that comes in the ninth and you expect him to shut shit down. I don't know. It seems kind of weird that Paul Sewald has kind of gotten bumped from that position.
Yeah, I could see Sewald being there. I really like him. He plays with a lot of emotion. When we swept Toronto and he was pitching, he was at first doing the broom. I love that.
He broomed him off the field.
That was
Hilarious.
awesome.
It was great. You know what? I think he just needs, more opportunities in close games. And, I like Diego Castillo. He's been killing it. But he gives me, PTSD from Roller Coaster Rodney. I think whenever Castillo's on the mound, I'm like, okay, he could walk 3, he could give up a double, a single, and then we're, kind of screwed. Or he just goes, 3 and out.
He reminds me of him, too, for some reason.
Yeah,
it's just the way that they throw, or I don't know, their mood and stuff, the wildness. But effective shit, their shit is pretty damn nasty when it's on, but it's kind of hit or miss. But Castillo's been on a damn roll.
He's been on a tear. It was a little rocky at the beginning, and but the bullpen as a whole, everyone is just pitching so well coming out of the bullpen. Matt Festa has been up and down from AAA this year, and I like him. I like him a lot. But it seems weird. Festa got the save today in extra innings.
That was big.
It was huge. But it was weird to see Paul Sewald come into the 8th, and the Mariners didn't even have a lead. They were using him for the hold instead of a save situation or even trying to shut shit down in the 9th. So I don't know. It's weird not having a dedicated closer. And, maybe it's better on guys mentally if you don't have that pressure on you. You're not the dedicated closer.
At least every day.
You're right. So, and I mean, if guys can come in and pitch, then, if it works for the team, I'm happy. But I've always been a fan of having a dedicated closer.
I don't have anything against having a dedicated closer. We grew up watching dudes like Eric Gagne and
Trevor
Hoffman. Yeah, these dudes were crazy, and they were just 9th inning guys. And even Craig Kimbrell, for a long time, was only a 9th inning guy, but he switched roles. I think when you have a bullpen like what the Mariners have, I would say that Sewald has been our dedicated closer for most of the year. But the way that we have so many weapons in the bullpen, we kind of want to get everyone shifting roles. We can match batters at certain times in the game where it's more important. I was kind of distracted today, but do you remember who Sewald faced? Was it the middle of the order where it was more dangerous?
I know Corey Seager got a hit off of him, so it's probably the heart of the lineup.
Yeah, I know Seager got his triple off of Julio's error, but either way, I think you bring in that pitcher at the highest leverage point in the game. It's become something different than just the 9th inning is the highest pressure point. When in the 8th inning and the game is close, you might want to bring in your, say, closer in the 8th inning when you're facing the heart of the order and you have a guy next inning that has good matchups for the bottom part of their order. So you kind of switch roles, and you hope to win that game before we go to extra innings, which is why we ended up using Festa, because we'd already used Munoz and
Castillo,
Sewald. And Murphy was, I don't know, but we have Murphy, we have Barucki if we need to face lefties. But we just ended up with leaning on Festa because we went past 9.
Also, props to Festa for coming in. First career save for Matt
Holy
Festa
shit.
today.
Are you serious?
It was his first career
Oh,
save.
Beautiful,
man,
too.
that
He
was
pitched
so
Oh
good.
my God, it
good.
was amazing. Great.
I was jumping around I was listening on the radio and doing a little dance around the driveway. It was crazy. I was so happy, man. 13 in a row is absolutely crazy. It's like every day you wake up, it's like, what's our record? No, wait, is this real still? Still?
I mean, a week ago we were battling to be 500. We were talking about how amazing it would be if the Mariners got to 500. They're 8 games over right now. It's insane.
Even I said, like, could it be too good to be true? Like, how long can the Mariners keep this up? We're talking about the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, our bullpen has been killing it, and our team is putting all the pieces together right now, and it's feeling so good. I don't remember a time. We've lost one game in July in 2 whole weeks. July 1st was our last loss, and it's the 15th, 16th today. I don't even remember. It's been crazy. Yeah, man.
I don't even remember what it's like to lose a game.
Yeah.
It's just
Our
all we
record
do is
just
win,
keeps
win,
boosting.
win, no matter what.
The broadcast
Streaking.
on the radio was awesome today. Dan Wilson's on, and he said, "May the Mariners never lose another ball game."
Just end the year on like a 75-game win streak.
Just a fun little stat that 2 of the teams the Mariners have played and beat have fired their general managers. Girardi on the Angels and Montoyo on the Blue Jays.
Shutting shit down across the league.
Will
We are
that trend
ruining
continue?
teams. They are going home
Dismantling
upset.
professional baseball teams.
Well, the Angels have, since that fight, have won like 2 games. So they're like 2-15.
And
Something
both
like
of
that,
them,
yeah.
I bet Shohei was pitching.
And obviously, I don't think the Blue Jays have done very well either because we overtook them in the wild card. We're behind Tampa now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
just a game behind Tampa, but we are in the second wild card spot. So Blue Jays are looking up at the Mariners. We're ahead of them, and it's really nice. And the thing with Montoyo getting fired on the Blue Jays, it was very, very obvious that he had lost the clubhouse. The team, I went to 2 of the 4 Blue Jay games at T-Mobile Park, and you could just see it on their faces that they were done with their manager. He had lost the clubhouse. They weren't having fun playing for him, and it was crazy, and it was a move that needed to be done because there's talent in Toronto, but the manager, they weren't having fun playing for him.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have so much talent, and they have their order is dangerous through and through. I think that team, the players-wise, have a lot of chemistry, or they can have a lot of chemistry, and something had to give. Their pitching has been bad, and you can't blame Montoyo, but after the season they had last year and the outlook for them this year, man, I was expecting the Blue Jays to be on top of the AL East. Obviously, the Yankees have been doing what they've been doing, but I was expecting the Blue Jays to be right there with them. Like, they're really dangerous, and their defense is good. They picked up Matt Chapman. Their pitching has been their real problem, and their defense, too, is kind of shaky.
Especially during that Mariners series. The 4th game of the 4-game sweep for the Mariners, the Blue Jays handed us that win.
Yeah.
They had the freak play with the ball going through Vladimir Guerrero's glove.
Yeah,
at
that was
first.
insane.
That was nuts.
Baseball gods shine down on the Mariners that day.
Absolutely.
They definitely
Godsend.
they definitely sent some sog to the Blue Jays way. Also, that is the 2nd time this year Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has had a ball puncture the webbing on his mitt. And I've heard a lot of people talking about that he needs to find a new sponsor.
Yeah.
Because whatever
those A2000?
business is like giving him his gloves, they're not quality.
I think it was the A2000 with the T-web or whatever. Why would a first baseman ever have that T-web and not like a mesh or a net of some
I don't
sort?
know, but I mean, we'll take it. And then also in the game 4, there was JP with the easy pop-up to the catcher. Literally a little league pop-up, and the catcher just dropped it. Carlos Santana comes up next, hits the 2-run home run for his 2nd home run of the day. That gives the Mariners the lead, and they held on to it.
It almost makes me think there's baseball conspiracies and shit. Like, how? These little league plays that should be made, and then just clutch-ass hits by Carlos Santana. It's like they do it on purpose. I don't know. The baseball gods are shining down, like Garrett said.
And I think that's what happens, though. You know, they say you make your own luck. When things are going your way, the ball like tends to favor you. It is luck, but it seems you also put yourself in a position to get lucky, and so it definitely helped out, especially in Game 4. But If they're not producing, if Sam Haggerty isn't busting his ass down the first baseline, the ball that goes through Vladimir Guerrero's glove wouldn't have even mattered. He could have picked it up and tagged him out. Sam Haggerty was busting ass, running down the first baseline, and it caused a big inning. Baseball gods are smiling.
I've seen that kind of effort from a lot of guys for sure. On the other hand, Joe Girardi, who got fired earlier this year for the Phillies, the Phillies were a middling, struggling team at the time, and so were the Mariners, honestly. That series between the Phillies and the Mariners was a feeling like, even though it's an interleague series, it felt like which one of these teams can take off here? Which one of these teams can build momentum? The Phillies have the worst defense. I don't think you can blame Girardi or Montoyo for like getting fired, because shit happens. We've seen this happen before, man. These guys weren't doing a terrible job, but things needed to change, and that's the first move you make. You can't fire your players. You can send them down and try new players, but you want to build momentum and chemistry, and that's the first move you can make, is just get someone in there that works well with all the guys, even if it's someone on the bench that just knows everybody, or someone that's seen them all up and coming for years and is there to, or was a prior player, has perspective.
And going off of that, I mean, Montoyo and Girardi, it was so clear in both of those series that they had lost the clubhouse and that the teams weren't happy playing for their managers anymore. And I will say, I've never been the biggest Scott Service fan, and I sometimes have issues with things that he's done, or maybe some bullpen management, or him not sticking up for his players, which I wish he did a little bit more. But watching these managers get fired and the way the teams were prior to their managers getting fired, I'll say Scott has never lost the clubhouse. So behind closed doors, when they're in the locker room and stuff after the game, it's clear that the guys like playing for him. And so, I'll give him credit for that. And not, I mean, obviously the guy, even when the Mariners have struggled under Scott, it doesn't seem like anyone's ever really officially like given up, or that he didn't have control of the team. So, I may not be the biggest fan of him, but clearly he's doing something right. So I'd sing his praises for that.
I think Scott Service did a really good job last year in a lot of high pressure situations, making good moves. Of course, it's always on the player, like we were talking about these other guys getting fired. If things went the other way for the Mariners and Scott Service last year made all the wrong moves, he'd be out of here. But he built up a rapport with our fan base, with our teammates, and we know his potential to make the right moves at the right time. I think our pitching coach does a great job standing next to him, making sure that we're bringing in the right guy at the right time, who's feeling it, who the matchups are. Scott Service has shown us that he has the potential to bring us within range of being a playoff team, which is something that I feel really good about for the first time in a long time. Since, I don't even remember, Bob Melvin was awesome, but we didn't really have the pieces to be a playoff team when he was around. He was just an interim manager.
Also, we fired Bob Melvin, and then he went to the Oakland A's and won Manager of the Year like 3 different times.
Yeah, that guy's honestly really cool. He's with the Padres right now, I think. He's a really good guy. All the players like that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Mariners moves, though, we got Kelenic and Kirby in the minor leagues right now. I mean, what do you guys have any takes on what are we doing with them? Are they trade bait?
The George Kirby being sent down surprised the hell out of me. I do not know necessarily the reason why they did that. It seems kind of weird. They were saying like load management and stress-free innings, but I don't know. I think he might be getting dangled as a trade bait. Kelenic, 100%. I believe They are keeping him in AAA. He's producing like crazy right now. Jared Kelenic in AAA in Tacoma is hitting the hell out of the ball. And I think the Mariners are purposely doing that rather than calling him back up and having him struggle at the major league level again. They're dangling him out there so a team will be like, oh, look at his AAA numbers. Look how hard he's hitting the ball. Look at the plays he's making. And he's still young, and I think he's being used for trade bait. I don't know about George Kirby.
Yeah, I don't know about now being used sounds a little bit bad, I guess. It's just a connotation, but not that you meant it that way. But I think he is being kept down there to build back up to be to be that way. He's a AAA all-star type player, but he didn't quite make it in the majors a couple times already. We could give him another chance, but his best potential right now would be for a big trade, especially if we need pieces going into the playoff push. When we have guys like, I don't want to say they're bad, but Haggerty, Toro on our bench, we could use a tick up. Frazier playing second base, we could use a tick up somewhere in our overall team.
Also, Upton should not be on a major league roster.
Yeah, Upton. Yeah, well,
He's on borrowed
talk
time
about
for
him.
sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
it's just injuries.
He's got more home runs than Luis Torrens, though.
Lewis
Yes, he does.
Lewis is on his way back up. He's hitting bombs too, and like Trammell was injured, and we have those guys. We don't need Upton. It's just that we need him at the moment.
As far as Kirby's trade value goes, is it that high? He's only pitched 6 games, 7 games.
I think it's in the double digits.
Is it? Even for a person, he didn't start. He got called up while we were already progressed into the year, right?
Oh, that's right. We
didn't-
called him up when we sent Matt Brash back
was
down.
Brash, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like,
That's
is-
right.
But he's pitched quite a few games. I'd say probably 8 games or
12 games.
Yeah, okay. And
But-
he's showed that he's a legit part of a rotation. And
Right, but you gotta,
we've been dangling him out there for other teams to see.
In trades, they gotta measure how long they've been in the league and vet experience. He's pitched really well, obviously, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have that full season under his belt, which I think might hurt. And Kelenic might be the juicier part of that trade, but I really like Kelenic. I think once he gets his mentals a little bit more developed and doesn't strike swing and miss one fastball and then immediately get into himself about it, I think he'll be great. And I really like Kelenic personally because last year when he was playing the last couple games, he was hyped on Twitter, trying to get all the fans out. And that's just really nice to see. I didn't, you don't see a lot of that, a lot of the players trying to hype the fans up, through social media, through any sort of marketing. So having Kelenic, that presence on social, a player trying to get us out to get us into the playoffs was really nice, and it didn't unfortunately pan out because Dylan Moore made an error in left field.
Yeah.
But it
rough.
was just a really nice new experience. It's oh damn, this guy really cares about the Mariners, and so I really want him to stick around and succeed and play with Julio and be one of the better Mariners rookies.
I would love to see that happen. Kelenic and Julio is supposed to be that's what we're looking at last year as being something. We're expecting Kelenic to pop off because he's a top draft pick. He's super touted, and everyone wanted him. Everyone was stoked about him. I collect baseball cards. His cards were people wanted them. They're posting them on the baseball cards subreddit. He was a big name at that moment, and since he's struggled a couple times, I still think he has so much potential. The same potential that we've expected the entire time, he still has. He's just struggled, and there's still that potential.
That's
he's
the
still
thing.
young.
The potential is there, and that's what Pat's saying
It's
about
a
using
huge
his
value.
minor league stats is
Yeah.
You see
And
what he
he's
can
young.
do?
He's so young.
Huge
That's
value.
true. He's still really young. His value is probably pretty high.
Yes.
We could get with him in a trade. We could get someone really good, but I honestly would like to see him stick around. The way the Mariners are building, you never know with Jerry DiPoto who he's gonna trade. But I think they dangled Matt Brash out there for 10 starts. They dangled Kirby out there for 10 starts or 12 starts, and now Now people are talking about starting pitching trade rumors, and we just dangled our starting pitching prospects out there, our top guys, and we still have a couple more coming up.
Yeah, just kind of move on to Juan Soto turning down a $440 million 15-year offer from
Oh
the
my
Nats.
God.
You think Kelenic and Kirby, with some other minor league players, maybe a few starters here, could be the trade bait for the Nats and Soto?
That's a huge topic going around on Reddit and Twitter. And all these, a bunch of fans are like, oh, Soto's going to be a Mariner. Highly unlikely, I think.
I don't know. Like, Soto's great.
That's not a question. Soto is great.
He's amazing, and he's so young. He's 23 years old with 4 years of major league experience. I mean, he made it into the league when he was 19 years old, and he produces. The thing is what it seems like that a lot of like Twitter finger people don't understand is that one player can't win you playoff games. They can't get you to the playoffs. It's not basketball where one generational talent can literally carry a team to the playoffs or even the finals. Baseball, it doesn't work like that. Look at Ken Griffey Jr. Never even played in a World Series game. Look at Mike Trout. Has played in one playoff series in his career. Yeah. And those are two of the greatest players that have ever done it. And everyone's like, oh, if Juan Soto joins your team, it's automatically you're automatic playoff contenders. Look at how dog shit the Nationals are. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The Nationals are dog shit. Juan Soto is on the team. One guy cannot transform a ball club.
I think the Nationals being dog shit is the big reason that Juan Soto is being talked about so much. So the story isn't necessarily, we take it this way because we're in Seattle, but the story is, where is Juan Soto going to go? That's the real question. The answer for a lot of people seems to be Seattle, and people hope and dream, and that dude has the biggest fucking price tag on him. The way the Mariners have been building hasn't been to just buy everybody, like spend $500 million on two players like the Rangers just did. Our strategy hasn't been that. But if we can work a trade where we get a guy like that for a reasonable price for a long period of time, think about the guys we already have set in place till about 2026 to 2028. It's 2022. Like, we have pieces set in place to, if we get that guy, it would be great. Of course, who doesn't want that guy on their team? But it's just hopes and dreams. It's the real question, like I said, is where's he going to go? But the Mariners, it doesn't seem like the right fit. I don't like the fit.
And don't get me wrong, Juan Soto coming to the team obviously makes the team better. But so many people want to just shed all of our prospects, or like so many.
What we worked for so long to build.
Yeah, we
break that down for one guy. Come on.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And like, I feel like I'm that meme of the guy talking to a brick wall. Like, we've worked so hard. When DePoto took office, the Mariners had the worst farm system in baseball. Our minor leagues were tarnished. We didn't have any top 100 prospects. And in 8 years, he has built it from the ground up. Now I think they're ranked second overall in farm
one
system.
One of the best in baseball for sure.
Yes, and like
have been for the last couple of years.
And
it shows.
And I get that, like, obviously you got to spend money to make money, and to get someone like Juan Soto would cost a lot. But why dismantle everything that we've built for one player? It's not that he's not great. It's not that he wouldn't immediately make the team better, but to dismantle everything for one guy, it does not make any sense to me.
I just thought about Julio Rodriguez and Juan Soto and Jesse Winker in our outfield, and I thought that was the most swaggy thing I've ever
my God.
seen in my
It
life.
would be cool.
That would be the coolest shit.
If
I don't
when
know
it happens,
how
I don't
we
think
get
any
that
of us
guy.
are gonna be mad about it.
How would
We're
we
gonna
get
be like,
him?
fuck yeah.
It just doesn't
But
seem
it's
realistic to me.
It's not a logical step.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
What holes do we need to fill? Like, we have Mitch Haniger coming back for the rest of this year, and we need to figure out
Allegedly.
what we're doing with him. And I think he might be part of trade bait for a team who's trying to make a
100%.
playoff push.
I thought that last
Someone
year.
like the Twins or the Indians, not the Indians. I'm
Guardians.
sorry, the Guardians. Someone like the Cleveland Guardians, or like teams that kind of need a corner outfield hitter that to produce offensively. Hey, Mitch Haniger, we can dangle him along with those other guys we're talking about, with Kelnick, with Kirby, we're using Brash in our bullpen now. It seemed like that's the plan, that we're sticking with Brash as a bullpen guy, and Kirby's being dangled. But they were both, I thought this months ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was like, oh, they're gonna throw him for some starts, and they're gonna bring up another guy. They're dangling pieces to show the league what we have, the potential that those rookies have.
I will be really bummed if the Mariners trade George Kirby. I'll get it, especially if the return is good. I could see why they could do it, but I don't know. I think he might have something special. He already has the poise. As a rookie, it's clear that he has elite stuff, and like I said earlier, you got to spend money to make money. It makes sense that you have to give up someone good to get someone good, but I will be really bummed if George Kirby gets traded.
Yeah, I think we should keep Kirby for sure. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but I feel like Marco hit his peak a couple years ago and has not returned.
thank you, Owen, for saying that. I totally agree, and I've been saying that shit, and I've been getting it from Patrick and Matt telling me that I'm wrong.
I'll admit that.
Marco is our worst starter.
I was
He
optimistic.
is. He's not. He's just.
Thank you, Owen.
He just gives up runs way too early in the game. Like, I can understand if Kirby gives up 2 runs in the 5th or the 6th when he's thrown 85 pitches. Marco's out here with 25 pitches in the 2nd, giving up 2-run bombs and shit. And I'm just it's hard when you start that that game that quick already down. And I haven't seen a lot of good from Marco this year.
It seems like Marco works harder than he has to. He
Yes.
pushes himself into a mindset where he's burning way more calories than he needs to burn out there,
Dude
even
is
when things aren't
sweaty
going
in
the
the
worst.
third.
It's become a thing where I'm more concerned about him than most people. Even Flexen has been doing pretty damn well, I think. Actually, I have some Flexen stats I could
Let's
talk
hear
about.
Flexen stats.
Let's hear Flexen.
Dude, Flexen.
Flex on Flexen.
Flexen had a really damn good start against the Astros on May 27th, and since then he's been holding it down. He's not, elite or anything, but he's a middle of the rotation guy. And for a middle of the rotation guy, he had between May 27th and July 4th, he pitched on both those days. He went 4-2 in 8 starts. He had 46.2 innings, so it doesn't go super deep, but 16 earned runs for a 3.09 ERA, 47 hits. Only 2 of them were home runs.
That's awesome.
So that's the best thing about Flexen is he gives up no home runs. So it's 17 walks, 35 strikeouts, so twice as many strikeouts as walks almost. And so 6.75 K per 9, which was higher than I expected since May 27th. He walks 3.28 guys per 9.
And Flexen has never been the strikeout guy. That's not what he's known for. He's known to pitch to contact. He gets the ground ball outs.
Yeah. He's flipping it and spinning it.
Yes, I cannot say enough praises for Chris Flexen. And the fact that we got him from Korea. He was pitching in the KBL.
He made strides there, it seems like.
Yeah.
Before we made this podcast, I was so down on the Mariners. I was like, man, this team just sucks.
Oh man,
I was about to go out.
that's been our whole life, Garrett.
I was gonna go buy a Doosan Bears jersey and be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna watch Major League Baseball anymore. I'm just gonna watch KBL. Shout out to Doosan Bears.
Also, big shout outs to the KBL when COVID was shutting everything down. Korean Baseball League was still popping off. So I watched a lot of Korean baseball in 2020 when COVID was like at its peak.
Damn, I should have. I missed out on that shit.
I was
it
watching
was
it with
fun.
you. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
I still
fun.
got a couple more flexing things just because.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It's just expected stuff. Like, it seems like his stats say he's getting lucky, but like I was saying, he's flipping it and spinning it in a way that's fancy. He's a crafty guy up there. So he's getting those weak contacts. He's popping them up. He's grounding them out all the time. I love the way he's pitching, and his stats make it look like he's lucky. So he has a 3.26 FIP, which is higher than his ERA. And his 4.84 expected FIP. So that's what like his FIP should be. His real FIP is 3.26, and his expected is 1.6 higher than that, which is a big difference in expected versus reality. And that makes it look like he's being lucky, but he's actually just being effective. I don't think that's real luck. He's actually using his ability to get that done from what I've seen.
No, and I agree 100%. I think
Just a
Flexen.
shout out to Flex.
I think Chris Flexen is one of the best kept secrets in the league. Not a lot of people know about him, and especially because he's not the flashiest pitcher. He's not going to go overly deep into games. He's not going to strike out a ton of guys. But you know what he is going to do? He's going to give you 6 innings. He might strike out 2 guys. He might walk 2. He might give up 2 runs. But, I mean, that's really low. Like,
You could say he's going to hold it the fuck down and give you a chance.
yes, he gives you a chance. I'm happy whenever Chris Flexen starts. I feel the Mariners have a legitimate chance to win.
Me
Yeah.
too. I love Chris Flexen.
Definitely brought that up because I feel more confident in him than Marco recently.
Yes.
Also, I will say, and I'm just as guilty as everyone else. Marco, you know how like we always thought that Dylan Moore's batting average should be higher? Because we're like, oh, it seems like he's doing better than he
The
actually
eye
is.
test. He passes the eye test.
Yeah.
You read it on paper, and you're like, okay, Dylan.
Yeah.
But Marco, I think his stats are better than we give him credit for.
They
And
are.
I'm just as guilty. I feel nervous with Marco pitching. But he has shown that even if he gets in trouble early, he can still go deep in the games. There was a game a couple weeks ago, 40 pitches in the first inning, and then somehow managed to pitch 7.
And we needed it then. Our
Yes.
bullpen was a little bit depleted after coming off of the last series and going into that's the first game of the Rangers?
It was just recently against the Rangers, he gave up 3 runs without recording an out.
Oh, yeah, that was the reason.
But it was a couple weeks ago where he had 40 plus pitches in the first inning.
So there's a couple examples right here. The last couple starts.
Like pick a start where he's in trouble.
Yeah.
I think we all remember Marco, like this season aside, obviously, because his stats are a little bit better, I guess, in years past. We remember him as with kind of fondness in our heart because he kind of filled that void when Felix was gone. And Felix was just this king, this star, and he took up all the attention of all the starters. And when Felix left, inevitably, we're like, oh shit, we haven't had an ace that isn't Felix in 8, 9, 10 years. What do we do?
He was a substitute ace. I have a
Yeah,
substitute teacher at school.
we're like, okay, Marco, you've got some nasty stuff. You're all right. Let's throw you on the bump. And then for 2-3 years, he was our starter. He was our ace.
Yeah, interim ace.
Yeah, when our starting rotation was shit. And now that we have a lot of very capable and strong pitching,
Robbie
even with our
Ray.
bullpen, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so. Oh,
I
my.
cannot believe the turnaround
I still
Robbie
don't
Ray
even-
That's a
has.
big turnaround.
I
That's a
still
good
don't
one.
believe we have Robbie Ray on our team. I watch him pitch. I see his stats. He's striking out 12 guys. I still don't believe he's on our team. What? This is a dream. It's a dream.
It's huge.
He has the career high active K per 9, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
He also
No.
has the career highest, tightest pants in the league.
Yes, those things are. He looks like he got poured into those pants.
Dude, look at his sleeves are the same. Yeah,
The pants were a mold.
painted
Robbie
on.
Ray is the
It's like that X-Men movie with that blue chick, and they literally didn't have a costume; they just body painted her. That
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually wearing baseball pants. I think he just gets painted before
Yeah,
the game.
dude, no doubt. The way he straddles the mound too, all wide like, so you can really notice his butt. It's like,
No
is it
circulation in those
purposeful?
feet.
He's got to be doing this on purpose.
So I guess we'll kind of wind things down here. We can talk about the AL East. Every team in that division is over 500.
that is a competitive division, dude.
It's so tough, and like it's so crazy. You look at teams like the Blue Jays, even this year the Orioles, the improvements they've made, they would be contender, second, third place, in any other division, but because they're in the AL East with the fucking Yankees, just it's crazy what they're doing over there.
Yeah, Baltimore, our Bird Bros.
Bird Bros.
Bird Bros, the
What's
Alliance.
up, Baltimore.
I followed them on Twitter because ever since we started that alliance, I was like, okay, I kind of care about this franchise. They're good people. They're down in the dumps like us. They
we have a lot in common.
They,
Yes,
they
we do.
sidled right up next to us last year. That was awesome.
this year, in comparison to last year, they have the same amount of wins, but like 50 less losses. So like, they just vast improvement. And I mean, they called up their like number one prospect, like Adley
Rutschman.
Rutschman. There we go, and he's doing pretty well over there.
Since they
position
called
does
him
he
up,
play?
he's on fire.
I think he's catcher.
He's a catcher, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they've been on fire. They went on a 10-game win streak at the same time the Mariners did.
Yes, they did.
And I kept seeing that, and I was like, wait, we just played them, and like both of us got hot at the same time. We're both just moving up the ranks. See ya, White Sox. See ya, Cleveland. I was expecting the White Sox to be in the loop here.
I honestly thought. The
Oh
White
my
Sox
God, they have
were-
so much potential, and they've
Yeah.
flopped hard.
I
When
am
is their
surprised.
manager getting fired?
I'm surprised Tony La
That's
Russa. I was
looking-
just about to say I'm surprised Tony La Russa has not been fired. I don't think he has the clubhouse.
They
Hell
laugh
no.
at him, dude.
Dude,
They laugh at him, no
yeah,
doubt.
It's so weird
They
what
got
they're
Bregman,
doing.
Weird
though.
moves.
That's something.
They have all the pitchers. Dude, look at their list. They have injuries too, but they
And
have so
Tim
much
Anderson
pitching.
has multiple baby mamas. But
What a
this
G.
ain't TMZ, so we'll chill on the gossip on that. But Tim Anderson, you're
TA
married,
hits
man.
bombs, so it's okay. You know.
Should we do a little see us guys? Kind of wrap this up here.
Yeah, let's see us guys. That's us. The
That-
guys on the podcast.
Us.
boys.
Also, want to say another quick thing. Everyone was wondering, episode 2 is our episode 1. We recorded a dummy episode just to see how we sounded on the podcast and like hear our voices and stuff. So we used that as a trial episode. So no, you're not missing an episode. Episode 2 is episode 1. We kind of Tarantino'd it.
I was
Maybe we'll
also
release
absent.
episode
Yeah,
one.
episode
The
1
missing
could
piece.
come out later.
Yeah.
It's a nugget for you. But I just want to say, like, this is our third time sitting down and recording anything at all together. We just are guys who hang out in the garage and talk shit about baseball like this all the time. And we just decided that since we have some microphones around that Garrett bought, we'd bullshit on the microphones and see how it sounds and just have some fun.
We were gonna do
bullshitting
this
baseball
anyway.
and Mariners.
Yeah, we
Might as
already
well
do it. We might as
put
well
it out
record
there.
it.
Yeah.
And also, we're all passionate Mariners fans. I was born into season tickets. I have gone to more Mariner games in person than I've missed in my life. I mean, and all of us, it comes from love. This is a team that we love. Most of us have Mariner tattoos.
I gotta
Yeah.
get one.
You need to
Me
get a
too.
Mariner
You
tattoo.
I don't have
out.
any tattoos, but I'll get a Mariners tattoo.
I'll
Owen
give you
and
a
I-
Mariners tattoo.
Owen and I
I'll
have
get one on your
Mariner
neck,
tattoos.
bro.
after this pod.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, yeah. Like
Yeah.
a couple minutes, I'll give you a Mariners tattoo. You give me one.
Sounds good, dude.
Love that.
But yes, we just love baseball, and we love the Mariners, and this is very, very passionate work for us, and like we really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us because
All the support on
Yeah,
the last
oh my
episode
God,
was
you
so
guys-
awesome.
Yeah,
you guys
so
have been
cool.
so amazing. Thank you so
we
much
just
for
threw
listening.
this out and thought, fucking why not? Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate
Thank
that a
you
lot.
so much.
If you're on Spotify, please follow us. If
Yeah.
you're listening on YouTube, like and subscribe. And
Give
if-
us a like,
Please
give us
hit
a
that like
subscribe.
button.
I also
Subscribe
have
if you like it.
I also have our Facebook page, the Mariners Sogcast. And that is a great way for you guys to interact with us, especially through the Facebook page. If there's something you want us to talk about or you kind of want to hear our thoughts on something, feel free to just send a comment or send a message. I check it all the time. So reach out to us. We love the support. Obviously, we couldn't be doing this without an audience to listen to us, and you guys have been so amazing. So thank you so much for listening. Please like, please subscribe, please follow, and we plan to give you tons of Mariners soggy news in the future. Thank you guys so much.
Let's see us, guys.
See us guys. What's our see us guys question?
most hated player.
Oh, I love it.
Oh man,
I love it.
On
And-
the Mariners?
No.
Oh,
whole
okay.
league. The whole league.
Huh. Okay.
Current player or just
Any
any
the
players?
whole era.
Okay.
I love it.
The
Love
whole
it.
era
Hated player.
of all time.
Mhm.
Okay.
the whole era of baseball things and games.
Okay. I can't even think of one off the top, so I'm going to let someone else go first.
All right. I'm gonna say Milton Bradley or Carl Everett. Both of them were Mariners for a time, and I think it was. I feel bad. I can't remember exactly which one. I'm pretty sure it was Milton Bradley. It was the 6th inning. He struck out with the bases loaded. It was a game at the time Safeco Field. 6th inning, he struck out with the bases loaded, and he just fucking went home. He left the
What the fuck?
game. He left. He went. He
He's
struck
a
out.
Major League Baseball player.
He struck out. It was the 3rd out of the inning. He walked through the dugout, through the clubhouse, got in his fucking car, and just left.
What is happening in his
He just
life?
fucking left.
What?
Yes.
Yo, his team photo was also looked like he had just woken up from a bender and just showed up to grab his photo.
man.
He had like his hat was askew. He had like 5 o'clock shadow and some drool hanging out his
When
mouth.
your name is Milton Bradley, like the board game company, like think about how much he got fucking made fun of his whole life. He's probably pissed off and is still just trying to play baseball to make it. He was old when he was on the Mariners.
Yeah, he was. But he was fed up and just left in the middle of a
he
game.
said,
That's
"Fuck
hilarious.
This team sucks. I suck. I might as well just go the fuck home." Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm just gonna
What
go
the
home.
I don't
fuck?
need this.
That's hilarious. Oh man, a most hated player. I used to hate some players. I did. I used to hate Rougned Odor. I've come around a little bit. I used to hate Manny Machado.
Machado
Come
was a good
around
one.
a little
Big
bit.
one. And I think everyone's coming around on Manny Machado.
He's really turned his
Everyone's
career around.
matured. Even
He's
Bryce
matured
Harper was
a
easy
lot.
to hate. Bryce Harper's come around a little bit.
My opinion has 180'd on Bryce Harper
These
too.
people
I
I
used to
don't hate. I hated them for the wrong reasons, I think. They were young, cocky, up-and-coming baseball stars. And like we were saying, how we watched the game progress into everyone being more like that and more emotional and bat flips and wearing chains and sunglasses and all the shit. Like that was the beginning of that shit. Those guys started that. That's why we hated those guys. They were cocky. They did do some bullshit things like stepping on people's feet. And
for sure.
Manny Machado has really matured though, and I think once he
Manny Machado.
yeah.
Manny Machado.
Manny do Machado.
But yeah, I mean, all the credit in the world, and he's really been a leader in that Padres clubhouse, and he's been a great like mentor to Tatis, who, if Tatis was given the wrong information, he could have been a hothead like Machado. There was that viral clip that blew up of Tatis like being frustrated, and Machado was the one talking him down and being like, "Hey, you're a star." And you need to act like it. Like, don't make the same fuck-ups that I did.
Yeah, that was a big turnaround for me, for him. I was like, holy shit, like he's turned into the mentor now. He's finally in a role where he can thrive again.
All right,
the
I
right
got
way.
one. I thought of one.
Uh-huh.
Malik Smith.
Oh God, yes, you
Shit,
hate Malik
yes.
Smith.
I hate Malik Smith. Dude, his defense was the most hot garbage thing I've ever seen in baseball. He was fast. He was fast as hell.
That was the only.
That
thing.
was it.
He was literally just
I forgot
fast.
about him.
I didn't say who I hated. I hate Cole Calhoun.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I
took
fucking
your-
hate that guy. Anyway, go ahead. That's it. That's all
No,
I
I
need to
love
say.
that you hate Cole Calhoun.
That's it.
No,
I don't
have
need to
much
say anything. I think you could understand that I fucking hate that guy. Yeah. Anyway, go
I
ahead,
love what
Garrett.
you do. That's all I had to say. I just don't like Malik Smith at all. I have this awesome video on my phone of him trying to make a forward diving catch in the outfield, and he missed it by like 5 feet.
And his glove was facing the wrong way.
his glove is facing down. He wasn't close, and his face hits the grass, and you're like, hell yeah.
I was an outfielder, and he was the ugliest outfielder I've ever seen.
Awful.
He was
So
not
bad.
outfielder-ish, if you want to call it that.
No, and he couldn't hit.
In the slightest. They had him out there trying to catch tennis balls like bare hand or some shit. It's like, what are we doing? What?
Also,
Make
Lloyd
him catch
McClendon
baseballs
was our
with a
manager
glove.
then, and Lloyd
Yeah.
McClendon was a garbage manager.
That was
He was
awful.
terrible.
I'm gonna say Robinson Cano.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah, Robbie.
That man did not give a single shit about where he was playing. He's just like, I'm just here to collect a paycheck. Like, I never
Yeah.
saw any heart out of Cano.
I agree 100%.
I mean, he looked like he was asleep in the infield. There were like plenty of double play opportunities where he would like fuck up the transfer or, not get it over in time.
He's trying to look cool instead of play
yeah,
well.
he cared so much about looking cool.
It was annoying.
I-
He had a great arm. It was annoying as fuck to watch him play.
His bat was okay, but I just remember specifically the moment I was like, I hate this man.
Yeah.
I think Patrick and I were at Edgar Martinez weekend, and we like went all in for like, we had a hotel. We had it's like the Silver Cloud.
Silver Cloud.
Right by the stadium. It's like a block away, like right across the street. We had like really nice seats. I think we were in Terrace Club.
We were in Terrace Club.
Dope.
And we were playing the Angels, I'm pretty sure.
It was.
And there was a double play in like the second or third inning, and Cano just tried to get cute with his transfer and lost, like between the transfer and his glove, lost it. It was an error, and then they proceeded to beat us that game and then sweep us for the whole. It's a 4-game series,
And we were at all 4 games.
and that was the biggest pain I've ever felt. Because it was supposed to be like, oh my God, Edgar Martinez, like this is when he's like getting the award and he's getting the all these honors.
Retired his jersey.
Yeah, all these things. And Cano fucked up one play on one game, and then we just got wrecked that whole series. And I was like, I hate this man. Also, his contract was dumb.
Cano was not the guy for us.
He was not
it
the
was,
guy.
It was the Robinson Cano and Nelson Cruz show for a long time. Nelly was lovable as
Oh,
fuck.
but nothing but praise for
it
Nelson
seemed
Cruz.
like
Love
it was
Nelson
the
Cruz.
only guy on the team that Robbie like vibed with at all for like 8 years.
Yeah.
It was
Nelson
crazy.
Cruz has the most jacked arms I've ever seen.
Oh
He's
my
so
God!
big.
I
When
love
when
that
they
guy.
did the turn ahead the
ahead.
clock night, and so they wore the sleeveless jerseys, and he's got
Get real.
go to a vet because those pythons are sick.
Dude, you guys, I was at the like turn ahead the clock night in 1998.
I was there too. I was there
in the
too.
Kingdom.
Yeah. In the Kingdom.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, and
I was there.
Buhner and Griffey were out
Oh
there.
my God.
Griffey wore his hat backwards for part of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Buhner's out there sleeveless with his guns out, being a baller. Dude, I think we're playing the Royals.
Yes.
They looked dejected because their jerseys were fucked.
They
and
were so
fucking
ugly, and the
stupid
Mariners looked so
ugly.
fucking
There's
cool.
pictures of it, and they looked so dumb. They also had a DeLorean drive out onto the field before the game for like Back to the Future shit. It was so funny. But I
Also-
still have the hat from that game. It's crazy.
I
still
have
wear
a
it.
turn ahead the clock hat too. and
Yeah, that
I
was
love
from
it.
'98. I have the old and the new. It's so
I got the
cool.
new one. Speaking of hats, what the fuck is going on with the Washington Nationals hats? It's like they had a contest for who could make the worst hat, and the loser of that won.
Oh, is it
Like-
is it like the flag in the W?
No, well, they have the one hat that
Picture
is
of the
just.
capital with a W on it, right?
They have the one hat that is just the fucking Walgreens logo.
The swoopy W, yeah,
It's
the
the
red.
Walgreens logo.
Yeah.
And then they have the other hat that they were wearing during the first game of the Mariners series. It's red on the sides It's got like a white front and then a tiny W with like
It's so weird looking.
I cannot believe I've seen YMCA's with better team uniforms than what the
There's
Nationals
giveaway.
are rocking
Confirmed.
There's giveaway hats better than that.
Oh
dude.
my god, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over in
They
Washington.
don't only
It's
suck.
a poverty franchise.
Their uniform sucks too.
Yeah, it's just all bad. Anyways, I think that is about to wrap this one up. Again, just want to reiterate, thank you guys so much for listening. We really hope you guys enjoy it. We have so much fun doing it. We're so blessed to just be 4 friends who love Mariners and love baseball, and the fact that you guys also enjoy listening to it, it makes us so happy. So thank you, and thank you.
Like it, comment, share it with a friend.
Subscribe, tell your friends, let everyone know.
Mariners Sogcast.
Love you, Bubby.
Love you guys. Go
Love-
M's.
Go Mariners.
Guys, go Mariners.